Hey there, my name is Gavin Weber. This is Dissolving the Illusion, and it is the Saturday after Thanksgiving 2020. And so this week, I don't know if you've been here before, but I'm sharing my A Course in Miracles journey. I want to talk about gratitude today. Really go down the rabbit hole further, take a closer look at gratitude, how gratitude is defined normally, how A Course in Miracles looks at it, and how you can and how we can learn so much about truth and reality through the perspective of gratitude. Okay. Now, I always like to be clear from the beginning. These are things I'm sharing. I'm where I'm at. I'm understanding what I understand, and in no way am I saying I'm right, that I have it all figured out. And that's kind of the purpose with this. This is what kept me stuck for so long. It's like, oh, I need to study more. I need to read more. I need to, understand this at a deeper level before I get on video. And it's like, I felt, guided that wasn't necessarily it. It's like, we're all one mind, and to share on video is a way for other people to connect, a way to learn, a way to see a different perspective possibly, and kind of come together on this journey called life, but also more importantly, this journey of Course in Miracles. So if you haven't subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. I do this every Friday. Today's Saturday. I didn't happen to do it yesterday for a variety of reasons, no excuses. But and if you like this video, that's wonderful. It helps get it out there to more people. But again, today, the week of Thanksgiving, I wanted to discuss gratitude. And we've all heard the saying, an attitude of gratitude. And I feel like books and blogs and movies spend a lot of time talking about gratitude and the power of gratitude. And I couldn't agree more. It is extremely powerful. But as I've gone down the rabbit hole, I feel like I was only grasping part of gratitude, and that it was actually coming from almost a place of lack in how I was using gratitude in the way that my mind could get around and that I could understand. And I feel like, from what I see in my perspective, is that gratitude is used the same way by most people. And it's kind of defined by this, is like, it's a comparison. As we look out there from what we see and what we think we have, and we compare ourselves to other people. And with that, there's almost always, whether it's our stuff, or food, or money, or houses, shelter, cars, the list of stuff goes on and on. And so we kind of like compare, like, okay, how are we doing over here? And in the game of like physical life, I always call physical life of what we think our eyes are seeing and what our mind believes at this point, that it's like, yeah, there's a lot of people all over the world who have it worse off for us. Therefore, I am grateful. And I know this. And again, that is a component of gratitude, right? So this isn't like a judgment or a critique. Yet how I would describe it is, it's kind of like of a long book, maybe 10 chapters long. It's like the first couple of chapters of gratitude. It's like the beginning stages to kind of notice of what you do have and what you have created, but not from a perspective of that you're better off than other people or that you have more than other people. Because again, that brings back in what I'm talking about of scarcity, of lack, because there's always more stuff that could be had. And then what the mind does is like, oh, this is kind of good, but like, oh, next year, I would love to be sitting here at Thanksgiving talking about the things I'm grateful for and have way more stuff and be way more fortunate. So I've really taken a look at that, and that's how I've kind of always defined gratitude, is to take stock of what's in my life, and that can be people, and that can be love, and that can be abundance, and yes, that can be other things. Yet when you start getting into A Course in Miracles, you're challenged to consider a different perspective. And it is a challenge because our minds have been taught to understand the world in a way of stuff, of materialism, of what we think having is, okay? So most of our actions are based on accumulating these things that we think will bring us joy, peace, abundance, love. And so behind that is that, like, we need these things in order to have that happiness, that love, and that peace of mind. And that is very conditional. That is not necessarily true. And it's just, again, a very small component of the piece of the pie of gratitude, that yes, it's so wonderful to be thankful for everything that you perceive to have. But, and yet, just because you don't maybe have, maybe you have more, or maybe you have less stuff, that's not the entire truth of the puzzle. There are many people in this world who have nothing of the world of stuff. They have no possessions. They have no things that they think make them safe or make them better, or that they've accumulated to show that they're educated, or that they are smart, or that they're capable, or that they're successful. And yet, their gratitude is off the charts. It's unbelievable. Because their gratitude is coming from a place of truth. And, the kingdom, as A Course in Miracles says, never in there is it like you should have all this stuff. And again, stuff is like the material stuff of house, cars, money, things like that we all strive for. Not all, but a lot of us. I've definitely done that. That I've said in other videos, what we're doing and striving for all those things is we are underneath that, if you really look at it, seeking that safety, seeking that peace, seeking that love that we feel lacking. And those people who don't have any of those material possessions, who are extremely grateful, have understood what true gratitude is that abundance, that joy, that peace, that absolute love, connection, oneness with God, Christ's mind, is within them right now. And they recognize it. On Instagram the other day, if you're not on there, Dissolving Illusion, come follow me. I have a lot of posts almost every day. I wrote gratitude, ... the recognition of love's presence. And one of the things I'm getting my mind around is that I've always needed those things, that stuff, to then feel grateful, thinking that the manifestation of that physical thing was showing me who I am, what I was capable of, and was kind of like a measuring stick of what was possible, but also like somehow my happiness. And as I've learned, as I've hit goals and fallen short or exceeded, all those kind of things, it never really always made me happy or made me feel loved. In fact, in a lot of ways, it was like, a way to feel the opposite of that. Like, oh, I could have done even better. Oh, I could have gotten even more. And so these people who just come from gratitude within them and connect with that love of God, that is truth. And our ego definitely doesn't want to believe that's true, because then all the other distractions don't become distractions anymore. That we can go within at any point and really come and understand and know and feel and believe the knowledge of truth that we are one with God and that none of this is happening the way that we think we are. And when we do that more and more, and we really come from that place, then we actually start believing it more. And that's the choice, right? That's the choice. We've made a choice to make this physical world real and our happiness and love contingent upon other things. And there is no contingency. No matter what we do, that truth is waiting there for us to be experienced, to be known, and to be lived. And that's what A Course in Miracles is doing. And think about that level of gratitude, that at any point, regardless of what we think has happened in this world, we can be grateful with our connection, our oneness, our mind with God, and that nothing can change from that, and nothing can be taken away. And time and death, that none of that changes, and it's our illusion mindset that believes that that's not true. And I feel like it's chapters 3 through 10, that process of understanding that there's nothing in this world that is going to make us, or that we need in order to be grateful for who we really are, which is freeing. I feel like that's true freedom. And the power behind it is that when you come from that, you're trusting in your true source. You're trusting in what Course in Miracles calls the Holy Spirit. You're learning to listen to that guidance. You're learning to see the gratitude in all your brothers and sisters. Forgiveness is a form of gratitude. Thank you for my brothers and sisters who give me the opportunity to see truth in them, to forgive them, to not see the illusion of their truth. To see the illusion of like what appears to be showing up in them that bothers us, or that makes us angry, or that's frustrating, or that seems lacking or not loving. Because as we see them, we see ourselves. As we teach what we believe, we know to become true within us, and that we live that. And so everything that we think has happened in this world is the opportunity to forgive and to see truth as. And as we see that in them, we see it in ourselves. And I know these concepts are deep. I know they can be frustrating to perform, but A Course in Miracles is the perfect teacher. The workbook is amazing. And what happens in the beginning is you kind of understand it conceptually. It's kind of like, oh, there's different points. Like you're like, oh, yes, right? And then there's other things like, I don't know the hell that's talking about. Like, this is craziness. What, like, really, you're asking me to do that? Which is all part of the process. Your ego is slowly being broken down and dissolved. That's what's happening. And that frustration is like you're wanting it to go faster. At least that's how it's been for me. But it's a process of unlearning, undoing years, decades of a false belief system. So when you're experiencing that gratitude beyond just like being thankful for the stuff you have in your life, being thankful for who you really are, in that moment, you're choosing truth. You're choosing to be one with God. You're choosing to return home. And that is something to truly be grateful for. Because at any moment, any of us can do that without anything in this world needing to happen. Feelings of loss, feelings of fear, feelings of the election, politics, the president, the economy, the stock market. At any point, you can close your eyes. Don't even have to close your eyes. But you can be grateful for the truth. And then the power behind that, this is where it gets fun, is you start experiencing that new perception. You don't buy into what you see with your eyes. And as you change your mind about what you're seeing, miracles happen. Your perception changes. Miracles a change in perception. And I've said in another video, like, what was really hard for me is I had this idea of what miracles look like. And it was pretty Jesus-y, Bible-y, like, oh, like I can, move this mountain and stuff like that. And although I do believe like that is possible. But we also don't know. Like our mind, our separated mind wants to think that we're God and that we can figure it out on our own. And then that kind of basically creates fear because we have so much doubt and like we kind of know down deep, like that's not the truth. Like I'm not separate. And so I'm going to kind of do all these things to distract myself from that truth. And when you start connecting with God and understanding that you don't know necessarily like what's really going on and you're not seeing the truth everywhere and you hand that over, that's faith. That's believing that you're heading in the direction of living only from truth, from that Christ mind, from love. And you don't need anything to show up the way you think it's supposed to show up in order to be happy. Freedom, faith, truth. It's pretty cool. So I have really been working on being grateful for things that I've never thought about being grateful for. My trials and tribulations, people who have bothered me, have annoyed me, have angered me. And to see the perfection in that moment that I get to forgive that and not make them wrong and see in them that which I'd love to see in myself, which is love, and to see truth. And as I do that, I am grateful because I know I'm healing. I know we're all one. I know it's one mind. And then I get the experience of that and it grows and it grows. And it's very cool. I've had tears in last shows and some past shows, and they're tears of gratitude, tears of going down deeper into the chapters and understanding things that I didn't want to look at before, didn't want to go deeper because I was afraid of what I would have to give up and what, of Course in Miracles talks about like the ego. Anything you feel like you have to sacrifice is ego oriented. It's not truth. Like what we feel like we're giving up is like nothing. I mean, literally nothing. But we're stuck and tied to it because that's where we've gotten our meaning and our purpose. And we feel like by giving up things and someone and something, that somehow that's a sacrifice. And on the other side of what's waiting for us is true freedom, is happiness, is joy, is laughter and abundance and lightheartedness and non-worry and fearlessness. It's pretty cool. So I encourage you to do what I'm doing, like be grateful for it all. Be grateful for the things you wanted to happen, and for the things you don't want to happen, know that that's perfection new too, because it's giving you that opportunity to forgive and to see only truth and to come from love in all situations, to show yourself what's real. Not all these illusions, not all this fear, but that no distraction of the election or who the president is or voter fraud or the crazy illusion of insanity everywhere, that you can just laugh and know, I know who I am. I'm listening to my guidance in the Holy Spirit. I'm learning to understand and to know again, and I don't need things to go the way that I expect them to go in order to somehow find meaning and purpose. So very grateful for that. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for this journey to remember, go deeper down the rabbit hole, and it's an honor and a privilege to be in the process of waking up. I watch the news. I tell people don't watch the news, but I read the news. I don't watch the news, but I read the news now. Like I told my wife the other day, it sounds weird, but first of all, it's fascinating. But second of all, it's kind of this test, like, can I observe it without getting into the feeling of like right or wrong? And it's like this test, and it's an opportunity to forgive, just what I was talking about. Like, oh my gosh, I can step into the insanity and pick a side, or I can stay above the sanity and send love to all sides, knowing that it's not real, that it's my excuse to be separated from who I really am by participating in a distraction. I know a lot of people are like, well, you don't think it matters who the president is? You don't think that like this all matters for like our future generations? And I do think it matters, but it doesn't matter who the president is. It matters how we respond in our minds to what truth is, and how we forgive what we see is like what we think is wrong in somebody else. We're just projecting that. So it's a great opportunity for forgiveness. That's what I think. All right, much love, my friends. Take a look at your gratitude. Take a look at not needing anything to be extremely grateful for that which you already are, that love. And go be that, and be grateful that you get to go be that. You don't like need anything to happen the way you are. Like, how cool is that? Like, it's this taking these barriers off, taking these shackles off. Like go send love to somebody that you feel like you hate today, who has wronged you. Be grateful for that. Talk to you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.